Hey everybody, this is Gregory from Dapp University. So today I have a couple of guests on the channel. I've got Alexander and Alisher here from Robonomics to talk about building smart cities. So welcome guests.
Thank you very much.
Good day.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on the channel. I'm excited to discuss this topic. Before we kind of jump into a list of questions, do you all want to kind of just give your kind of high-level pitch for what you're working on at Robonomics?
I'm industrial engineer in our open source software community, and an engineer for our Russian company who makes experiments and pilot projects based on Robonomics platform. It's a platform for smart cities and Industry 4.0 blockchain applications. It allows cyber physical systems to use market mechanisms for their work. So it's, I think, high level overview.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I'm one of the founder of the Robonomics project and the Robonomics network, and CEO one of the companies what used Robonomics network for the application and the service solution. And also I'm working in Russian in St. Petersburg University as associate professor. That's all the spheres.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm working.
Sounds like you both are quite busy.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about the project. So tell me about building smart cities. Like what kinds of things are you all trying to accomplish with this?
Imagine a city of future when most of the boring work made by robots, but not only robots, but more descriptive name for them as cyber physical systems, the system which integrates the communication, computations, and physical components. How can they work in modern economy? And as we think in developing Robonomics network, they should work with market mechanisms directly, because it allows them the high-level automotive functionality. So it's a picture where machines works with market mechanisms. It needs a platform for it, and Robonomics provided in a decentralized manner based on Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah, in some applications for the robots, it's in our region, of course, it's possible to create the pure market system, where all the system will find the stable position or optimal price and other things what's related with the market relations. And we try to apply it in the robotic world, or the robotic system, in the autonomous communication between the system inside the smart city and Industry 4.0.
Very cool. So maybe tell me a little bit more about how building dApps and using blockchain technology in this case gives you an advantage that maybe wasn't available to us before.
dApps is as we see, dApps is an interface, a user interface for cyber physical systems, which provides their services through the market based on Ethereum blockchain. What I mean, we use dApps. The application allow user to publish their ask for certain service, and based on that asks in communication field, we use IPFS for node-to-node communication. The infrastructure in network can match that asks from user dApps with the bits published by cyber physical systems that connect to the network, and the network can provide what we call a liability smart contract for two parties which published their matched lots. And that contract is describes that one certain Ethereum address wants a service, another one provides that service, and the network tracks that services provided with quality they want, and allow user to, for example, the simplest example, to return their amount they paid if work was not done, or have a payment for the service to cyber physical system.
Yeah, in the global sense, we using the blockchain for the addressing system, because all the cyber physical system in the blockchain can have own wallet, own account, like an address, like a IP address in the internet. And for the organizing the communication between several systems and the customers, it makes possible by smart contracts. In the smart contracts, you described all the addresses, all the wallets of the systems, and you can be sure that all the data and all the necessary information will be available for all participants of the process. And one of the project what we are launching on the Robonomics network related with the drone service solution, because right now the drones, unmanned aerial vehicles, it's one of the first like robots on the big markets which can provide the service directly to the customer, like filming, photos, monitoring, measuring of the parameters of the environment, or delivery, for example.
Sure.
And I have the demonstration.
Very cool.
Of the decentralized application for one of the solution for one of the service, the drone. It's the drone monitor.
Very
Let
cool.
me share the screen.
Yeah, I'd like to see
you.
that.
And yep, is it working?
It is, huh?
Yeah, perfect. Yep. Here is the simple decentralized application where the customer can specify the point of the drone, and that GPS coordinates and apply get the video
order button.
Yeah.
So here we can specify a mission.
Screen what happened in this area. You just sending the money to the drone, and it's working. This is makes possible to demonstrate how the robots can provide the service directly to the customer without any mediators, like the payment mediator or the controller mediator who will control your car or your drone or your factory. Here right now we have such technologies that make possible to create the really long supply chain with the fully autonomous cycle, production cycle, or delivery cycle.
Very cool.
In the demonstration Alexander showed, you saw how a user can specify a little mission for a drone, and order it to sign it by Ethereum private key to publish it in the Robonomics network through IPFS to let the network have matched bid and ask, as I told previously. So it's how the Dapp interface works.
Yeah, right now in the Robonomics network already launched like a trading platform for the autonomous system where one cyber physical system or robots can provide the demand and the other one can provide the supply without any human participant.
Yeah, very cool. So now you all mentioned briefly before that you have an SDK out and some developer tools. You want to tell us about that?
Yes, to develop an application as an user interface for Robonomics network, you can visit our GitHub, github.com/IRLab, and find the Robonomics.js SDK, which uses MetaMask as a Ethereum interface and allows to develop applications like Alexander just shown. Another useful tool we have there is Aira, which is a client for Robonomics network for cyber physical systems. For example, it uses our communication stack in Python. One can integrate to develop applications based on robotics framework or robotics meta operation system. It calls robot operation system ROS.
Very cool.
Mainly uses it for robotics applications.
Yeah, so right now,
by the nature.
In my view, in my point of view, like scientists and the university guy, I think that's robot operating system right now. It's like a standard for the robotic system, like for the do-it-yourself guys and for the university and research groups. And we are waiting for the ROS industrial, and it will be fully supported by big companies like KUKA, Fanuc, and other robotic producer guys.
Very cool. Very cool. So I have one last question for you all, kind of just related to, cyber cities in general. So what do you think the maybe like relatively near-term potential for all this is? Do you see kind of maybe some easy areas for cities to adapt this kind of technology? Like where do you kind of see this headed?
We develop in pilot projects and demo projects, experiments for it. And firstly, we find that robots don't like to fool people. And in ecology applications, we find that that systems based on blockchain on Robonomics network can works much better than the classic ones. What I mean, for example, we can make systems to track the ecology situation in cities through the liability smart contracts by the cyber physical systems which track the ecology. For example, in Russia, in Tolyatti, we have such applications for environmental monitoring in atmosphere. And the data which sensors provide let me say, secured by blockchain, because after we have a smart contract which describes the work of the cyber physical system, we have field in it calls result, and it's a hash of the data file which system provided, and there is no way to replace or edit data the sensor provided. So the data was produced by the sensor. There is no way to edit it. I mean, there is no way to fool somebody about ecology situation, because it's secured by blockchain.
One of the point that right now we can create the systems, fully autonomous system, what can be third party, which will protect the environment from the humanity.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
supply chain, environmental applications. For example, Elon Musk thought we will use Tesla as a autonomous Uber machine. I mean, car. So if you don't want to use your own card, every service machine wants, you may develop an application for a car to allow it to work with market mechanism directly.
Yeah, very cool.
And if we are talking about smart cities and the industry 4.0, such third-party systems can be useful for the big auditors company, because right now they're checking the factory or the company only like one or twice in the year, when the bank asking the to prove all the state of the factory. And right now we really have a tool for creation continuum monitoring of the factories and the cities, and it's not only for the monitoring, but also, as you know, the blockchain, it's open system where you can create a new account without any permission. And in that case, if you're creating the global sensor network, trying to estimate of the state of the city, for example, traffic measuring, or I don't know, temperature of the buildings, all the participants, all the citizens can participate in that process and put the sensors inside the room, or in the corridor, or outside the building, or it can be video camera for estimation of the how many people in the street, and it make possible to create big sensor network and collect big data for the analysis. Of course, it can be a little bit scary, but we can imagine that right now it's happened already, because the government collect really much data about us and all the videos and all the traffic. But in that case, we will control our information by ourselves, or we can take access for that and check it.
Yeah.
Alexander made very interesting mention. It was very interesting mention by Alexander about auditors, because we don't like to just replace payments which parties made by, for example, PayPal, but there is another process we can do by integrating financial or economical and technical information in one transaction. I mean, because in smart contracts we have technical data which describes the task, and the payment data which describes money flow. So there is a system where the data integrated, and it will be very interesting for analysis, I think.
And the transaction launching the smart contract for execution. And right now there is a really big problem, because at first you sign some documents, and after that you're getting the money or sending the money with that contract, and it's a separate action. But in the blockchain and the smart contract, it's combined in the one transaction.
Yeah, very cool. It seems like that opens up a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Alexander and Alisher, that's been very educational. I've enjoyed kind of hearing your all's explanation for what you're working on, and really enjoyed that demonstration as well. Before we wrap up here today, is there anything else that you'd like for the people watching to know?
I think I should mention white paper you can find at Robonomics.network, which describes more about the platform, and you can visit our iura.life website. It's our community website.
Yeah, and the week like 24th and 26th of August, we will spend a lot of time discussing the Robonomics and the blockchain applications during our conference, and it will have some live on the YouTube, and you can check it and be with us.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for that. Again, everybody, go check out Robonomics. Check out this SDK that they're talking about to kind of start getting your hands dirty with developing some applications that can work for smart cities, and that's very exciting. Again, it's great to have you all on the channel today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.
Thank you.